Mr. Secretary, call roll, please.
William Perez,
Present.
Larry Corbin, myself, Ted Sorrentino.
Yes, sir.
Gary Cardenas is missing, Christopher Locke is missing, Nicole Ortiz is missing, Judy Farcasera is missing, Catherine Alvarez is missing, Pedro Fialo is around,
No.
No.
it's not gonna-
missing, and Ed Pies is here.
All right, you do not have quorum.
We lack one for tomorrow.
All right, please stand up. Pledge allegiance in a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the silence. Thank you. Please take your seats.
Quick question. Jonathan, since Mike's on with us, doesn't that lower the amount of people we need to come?
No, he was the 12th member, so we're still 6 for a majority.
Public comments. That's you.
Well, that's me.
That's
I'm
true.
not getting any of it.
That's you. Public comment.
Well, it's about, the veteran memorial, who, all the bricks that we bought years ago, my husband and I, and a lot of people. They just disappear. I mean, we can't read anymore. The people that we bought the bricks for, I mean, it's just, so I brought it up to Gary's attention, and that's why he told me to come here and talk about it, and what can we do to restore its original? I don't know how, like he's saying, we need to paint it again,
Tradition, yeah.
or find some letters that are more, that can last longer,
Yeah, the clay bricks when they pressure clean, the weirds are rating.
Yeah, but right now, it hasn't been pressure clean, it's totally black, even the V is black, it just hasn't been cleaned for years.
Those are ones they were just
This is
put
the
down.
original.
If you go up front, you take a look at this. If you can see that.
He put his father. It's the one then, that's his father, and that's my father.
This one,
I know,
that meeting,
but we have another.
There's another meeting.
So and people put, and they're all, and there's some new ones, I don't know if they're new or what they use it, the material. No, but yeah. It's gonna be a way.
There's
where
like
we
one
can
today,
put
yeah.
some, maybe,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
They need to be redone and sealed. It needs to be
The
cleaned up.
whole-
That's five.
the
Basically, that's
whole-
another one, because it's such a down. It's because.
Well, I think the way ahead on this one is, I'll contact Jeremy, and CC the town manager. Jeremy's the public, Parks Department. He's at the Parks Department, and I'll let him know that we need to figure out a way to restore those bricks and clean up the memorial. But I really thank you very much for bringing this up, bringing up this issue. We've had a lot of rain, and that memorial was created in 2014, so it's been almost 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And we discussed, there's nothing man-made that can ever be permanent, so
No.
maybe something that's a programmatic kind of maintenance issue. That over time, we just kind of fix over time.
Yeah.
When you are able, you can send me your information and I'll connect you to the right people.
Oh, you want to send
Yes.
email?
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds great, but thank you very much.
You're welcome. I can go now.
You can go.
Play the
But you can
meeting.
stay. So-
You're welcome, you're welcome.
Thank you
You
all.
are welcome to stay if you like.
You don't have to.
We enjoy it.
I'm interested.
Oh, okay, fine, please, you're welcome to stay.
For a while. Okay.
All right, no worries. We're gonna skip item 6 because we really cannot adopt the minutes since we don't have quorum. Item 7, old business, we did not have the subcommittee, so there's no new information to provide. Item 7B, the proceeds, we don't have quorum, so we really couldn't make a vote on that.
Nope.
Item 7C, there's no real change as far as that goes. Just working the 501c3 issue. So let's get to item 7D, which is basically an after action on the Patriot Day planning. Unfortunately, I wanted to discuss whether or not we want to continue with Patriot Day, but we don't have a quorum, Larry, so.
I think we can discuss it.
Well, we can discuss.
No, we can, yeah, we can discuss things. It's just.
Okay, so let's talk about the positives. One, we had the subcommittee did fantastic. Thank you very much, Larry, for all the hard work you guys did. It was, everything was set up, everything worked. I would say, we had a working PA system. The first responders they were the main audience. I mean, they were the most folks out there. So that was really good.
We got next to no attendance because everyone there was either directly related to the first responders
Mhm.
or the American Legion would come out
Right.
and our Veterans Committee.
And I think that may be an issue dealing with the time that we had the event. Maybe I think we should have the event later.
We've had the event during the week at the same, 9/11, and there wasn't issues.
But it wasn't 9/11 and it was a Sunday. So it
Yes.
was like church, like
Yeah.
early, so.
No one knew about it.
Right.
Well,
It was not.
it was, and I think Bill made a point, and I'm not gonna let Bill talk about it. It really is more, this would not be, we're doing this because, the lady that donates the flag,
Yeah,
what was her name?
I forget.
It is,
Carolina, the designated flag.
Yeah.
Got with Mayor Manny Sid and wanted to do something for the town.
Well, let's discuss that. We'll get into that. But let me finish.
And
this
that,
up.
anyway, this was handed to Mike, and that's how we got
Yeah.
involved. We can move forward.
So QR code brochure thing, fantastic. Turnout was low. I think we need to change the time and we have to advertise more. Make it later, if we do it again. Sergio's did not show up with the food, so, that was kind of sad. The flags, we found out that the poles, that they're wood, they rot in storage, so maybe if we do the flag again, have plastic flag poles that do not rot. All right, but the big issue really is what Larry brought up, and I want to discuss, is whether or not the Veterans Committee is the committee to be doing the 9/11 ceremony. Because we have a public safety committee that deals with police officers and first responders. And they don't really seem to have an event.
Yeah, I will say, so Isle is actually the liaison for the Public Safety Committee.
Mhm.
They're not really an event planning committee. I voiced my opinion regarding first responder events and the need, I guess, in place for them.
Yeah.
So I guess. it's
So
actually-
I guess, since we don't, we really can't do much without quorum, but I think the road ahead is once we have quorum. Let's discuss, bring this issue up, I'll put it on the agenda. And then we vote to make a recommendation, because all we do is recommend to town council. And so if we vote to recommend, to keep the darn thing, then there's nothing to recommend to town council, it's just status quo. If we vote that, to recommend that the, public safety folks take it, then we'll send that up to the town council. To see whether or not they say yay or nay, because if they say nay, then, no need to even bother public safety with it, you know what I mean?
Can
And
I,
if they say yay, public safety has the ball.
is it possible for maybe you to talk to Nancy from the Public Safety Council and Committee and let her run it by her committee to see if they're interested in doing it? And if they are, there's no reason why we can't, the Veterans Committee can't help. I don't mind going out there and helping plant the flags or whatever needs to be done.
Right.
But go ahead and let them take the lead on it.
Yeah, I could do that. I could do that.
Jonathan asked me about this not too long ago.
Yeah,
And I'll be honest with you, I really think if somebody's gonna run it, we ought to run it. And the reason I say that is for guys like Chad. Okay? We have so many young men and women who joined the military as a result of 9/11. That's true. That 9/11 is an important date for our military. It's just like Pearl Harbor was an important date for the service people during World War II. Okay, I mean, the idea of us not having it and giving it over to public safety, I think is a travesty.
I'm not saying give it over. I'm
Yeah,
just
well-
saying let them take the lead on it.
Well, I understand why public safety would potentially take it because of the first responder
Right.
aspect of the victims of the actual date. I mean, but the impact was, worldwide and it impacted, the United States military more than any other event, that we've had. And so like, I would, if we ever did lose it, I would still be out there.
Yeah.
Right, and
Flags
I
every
think,
year,
I think to that point, it's more than fair because Councilwoman Rono. Not only she's asked us to, look at all of our events, get to the core of them, but also to collaborate more. And so me personally, the only reason I've been bringing it up is because with this, I guess, referendum on events and thinking about the place and the why per se. I've only seen this event in other places be run through the public safety departments or like I have never seen a veterans coalition or committee or board.
Well, I think it's gonna be a factor.
But I do understand the the Venn diagram.
Yeah, I
With
mean,
that overlap.
Yeah, it's gonna be a factor of, in my opinion, two things. One, what committee can effectively execute that mission? That's probably the primary driver.
Right.
That's not.
And the second one is, do we have somebody else? No. Okay, and, hey, Ed, recruit now. But, so the primary driver is probably who can effectively execute the mission. And who can get the sponsorship funding. And so, because I know what Councilwoman Verano was concerned about those events that don't have the sponsorship funding and have execution issues. And we're not that committee. We seem to execute well and sponsor well. So
Under all those things you're saying, I think what would probably happen, because I think they want to partner up with other committees, and I think that's where probably it's gonna end up going. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You guys.
Well, I mean,
did a great job.
I'm not hearing it, but I literally went and I visited this public safety committee and I invited them to them. I asked them to volunteer to be, because a lot of them are first responders. And they were supposed to read the citation, the medal, the heroes medal citation. None of them showed up. Thank God the police department, the fire department, I had them as backup. But because you always have to have a plan B, but none of them showed up. So, that to me, that was pretty disappointing. And I took the time to visit them personally, tell them the date, tell them the time, and tell them, oh, by the way, here's what we're doing. I even showed them who we're reading about. And so they didn't show up.
I mean, they're gonna take over
Yeah,
the
that's
whole thing, and
I think that was just my thought on
Mhm.
my part. I will also say, for it being in our newsletter, a couple editions of the Laker. Social media or calendar or whatever. I think what did hurt us was it being on the 10th. Like I think we lost a lot of weight.
And I think being so early as well.
The gravity. Well, I mean,
I think early
Yeah.
on Sunday hurts us.
if it's I think if it's on the date, it's at the time you do the bell ring.
No, it's not gonna happen and.
But I
it's
think
gonna be during
early-
the week next year.
I think in context, early could be fine. Because you have the date, you have the gravity of the time.
Well, I don't know, I mean, I think folks have forgotten when the planes up there. I think a later time will probably bring more people out. and-
I do think it's hard to sell 9/11 on 9/10. That's kind of.
We've done it during the week, we
Yeah.
rang the bell, the idea was to ring the bell when we had the chief, fire department, fire battalion chief, ring the bell when the first plane hit the tower. We had the flyover, we had good turnout, a lot of things. So for whatever we can make excuses all you want, but the fact is, there wasn't anybody there. So the blame is on us, whatever we did, maybe we did it right, we didn't do enough of it. But there's a solution to it,
Yeah.
and there's no sense making excuses.
So we'll just figure out what we did the first time and made people show up and what folks didn't do. I mean, we didn't have many council members there either. So, I mean, I think,
It was just the mayor.
yeah.
We've had did we reach out to congressmen? Did we reach out to any people like we did in the
Yeah,
past?
we have our local representatives, our senators. It's kind of the standard, like we don't expect them to come, it's just an invite.
Did they respond to your correspondence?
Only the generic, like, we.
Yeah.
Response.
You gotta, but you gotta put it into context, Larry. The first time when we did that, I know you're talking about, we had to fly over the bell ring. From the world events that was going on, the administration had just pulled out of Afghanistan and that became, a political lightning rod. And so politicians like to show up and have a forum especially the 9/11 forum. So that's why we had Congressman Diaz-Balart show up. If you heard his speech, it was pretty much a damning of what just occurred as a pullout in Afghanistan. So events will drive politicians to show up to events.
Right.
And that's just the reality. So I would say we just didn't have that event, but maybe next year, it depends about what's the way things are going. Looks like, Middle East and everything else is going to hell in a handbasket. You may have more politicians showing up. So, but I think we should advertise more, make it a little bit later. But let's table this for now, since we don't have quorum, and I'll put on the agenda next time, so we can have a vote to decide whether or not we're gonna keep this, or we're gonna partner with them. And see how it goes. All right, the next business is new business. Grand Marshal nominee, so we have 4 folks.
Yeah.
And when does it close out?
Monday. So we might be better, if we have another special call next week, if, that would get quorum, it might be better anyways, since we would have the final list. Cause it might be 5 by Monday.
Well, I mean. Problem is. Next week,
I think you're gonna be out now.
yeah, I'm gonna be,
I won't be here next week.
I won't be here.
yeah, I'm gonna be in Hawaii.
I'm always here.
I mean,
Except for Army Navy and a few others.
I leave in Hawaii Tuesday. And I won't be back.
That's his old command.
Yeah,
right?
it is my old command, my battalion's in Hawaii. So,
The next public safety committee meeting is on the 24th. Would you like me to go and just present that to them? What
About them doing the
about
9/11?
today? Yeah. So that they have it in
yeah, I mean,
their tank.
Yeah,
already.
they'll have the support of us, and we want to be there, and just like we've been in the past,
When is?
The 24th.
we want to be there just like we have in the past.
I'll be back
27,
I'll be back the 25th. How's the 25th look for everybody? October 25th.
I'm gone for 2 weeks next week.
All right, you won't be here either? Okay. We could do a subcommittee that fix it. What do we need?
You just need quorum. Yeah.
We have to have the whole committee meeting?
Not the whole committee, just quorum.
Can't we vote by proxy, when it's possible?
We can't vote by proxy?
It's a committee rule.
That needs to be true.
I'd like to see the rules, I would like to read them, we're gonna get these.
I can send you guys a copy.
I just want to make sure, because I don't understand, I want to keep asking.
I could send.
They were sent.
Thanks.
So,
This way I won't embarrass myself.
All right, so Ed, can you be here on the 25th?
Yeah, I mean, I have a deposition, but I'm not sure you cover it.
All right, how about Bill Knickerbocker? Can you be here the 25th?
I can't.
So you got
I
Ed,
can be here,
you got Ed. you
and I got
Judy,
Gary,
Gary,
get Judy. We need 6. Will we have enough? Because Nicole is in North Carolina. And I don't know if she's ever coming back.
What time would it be on the 25th?
Well, what time do you want it to be on the 25th? Myself.
I'm gonna make sure.
So the people missing will be you and Chad, right? So, well, Chad's gone, Chris is gone, Nicole's gone. So we'll need Judy, Catherine, Pedro, Ed, and everybody else to show up.
So this room is occupied 6 to 7. We'll have to do a 4 or after that. 4:30 to 6, maybe 7, 8:30. I mean, if it's just for the Grand Marshal, we may not need that entire hour and a half block, but.
No, we won't. Was from, was it booked?
It's booked, that Wednesday, 6 to 7.
7, can we get another location? Is the town council chambers being used?
Rebecca Mary Jameson.
For the streaming. Well, it says it has to be streamed, I would imagine. They have to be here.
You can stream from the town council chamber.
But we
Yeah.
can't stream 2 at the same time. You can use that for meetings if needed, that's fine, as long as it's available. The problem is the streaming.
Yeah.
That you can't stream from another.
You
location?
can't stream 2 committee meetings at the same
Oh, I
time.
understand.
Yeah. It does have streaming capability, just not at the same time.
Well, no matter what, we gotta probably be later or earlier. How about later, Ed?
Not for me.
No?
Like, I can make Peter at 5, 4:30, 4, but after 7, it'll be.
Okay, how about earlier? What's the Jonathan, you said 6 to 7, it's occupied?
Yeah. Is there any, what's the earliest? Can we do anything earlier than that, date wise, not time wise?
I come back to 24th. I mean, I don't have to be here, I suppose, but,
Are you here, Brian, before that?
Are we back? Yeah, 28th.
You're looking at the 25th or something.
Okay.
I did the 29th, I'm going right there.
It has to be a committee vote. It is, can it be just a subcommittee? It picks the guy?
It's Grand
So
Marshal.
the grand marshal, I'm sure it's good. Full
It's a
court.
vote. That's a vote.
That's a good, it represents.
Quorum.
Okay.
so you said this place is being occupied 6 to 7, correct? How about 5 to 6?
Yeah, that's,
How's that sound?
Yeah.
Folks,
I mean, we'd be capped out on that 6 p.m. So we'd have to, be
Yeah.
efficient.
who's coming in after us?
It's not gonna take us long.
No, I know, but sometimes-
Can you release the
I know
names
Chad's
of the
looking at me going,
candidates
I know
ahead of
what you're
time?
thinking.
I mean,
Yeah.
so we can get- so we see what-
Yeah, because
I
Names
mean,
cannot
it's
be,
logical, so we can check them out, see. what
we can we can give you guys the.
Yeah, we can send the redacted
Yeah,
version.
the redacted versions, yes, of course, so in
Yeah, so
advance, so
we
you
can-
have, so you
Yeah,
can look at.
so,
We know who we want.
so you can come in and say,
So you
I
can
like
come
nominee
prepared.
3.
Yeah.
I like nominee 3, but you guys
Yeah.
have,
I think you
And that's
know,
what happened anyway.
the committee
right?
pretty much
Yeah, I
knows who you want as grand marshal. It's just a matter of getting us together to get it to okay.
I don't know.
Well, you can't be grand marshal again.
I don't wanna be Grand Marshal.
All right, good.
So
But
That's what I was
5 to 6 Wednesday, the 25th.
yes,
Okay, I'm gonna reserve that, meeting, and we can make it a special call. So we can just have that on the agenda, so we're not
all right, let's do
using
that.
ourselves.
That's the only thing on the agenda.
And get us those forms early so we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have all the redacted versions already.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
What's, I mean, are we gonna get the redacted versions for the vote? Or are we getting unredacted versions? for the
You
vote?
don't get the unredacted until you make the vote, because you're supposed to vote based on,
The information.
yeah, and the
you guys
information,
want.
not based on bias. That's
If I
the
remember
reason why we redact.
The last time we had the vote on it, there was one candidate who, I mean, we read here at this meeting, we looked at his DD 214 and it was like falsified. It was wrong. And we didn't have any time to vet this in advance.
I think
So-
one of you meant, I think it was you, Bill, that mentioned that you could help us in terms of verifying that information this year, that you guys wanted to make
I
sure.
can
that
tell, I
somebody
can
did
tell
that.
face 8214 pretty good.
yeah,
And yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll share that.
And Chad can too as well, so,
When it's got,
huh?
when it's got one.
Yeah, so you probably know what you, take a look at yours and pretty clear. Yeah, I've seen a few fake ones.
We're sorry.
He's retiring. That's why he's growing his beard.
No, I'm not.
He's doing the beard thing, because every retiree does the beard thing,
Yeah.
so it's sort of like I shaved for all this time, I'm not gonna shave.
well, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I did the beard thing.
When I
It came-
started traveling back.
My beard came out totally white.
Well, I put it
Like-
so,
All right, let's move on with, what do you need us to talk about for the parade?
I have a huge list.
Well,
But I
well,
can
let me
get-
tell you, with the Jeeps are locked on,
Okay,
so we got that done, as opposed to the Jeep dude. We got 20 or 25 Jeeps showing up,
it's the same group.
same group, the Jeep Club or whatever, same guys.
Yeah.
Signs for the Jeeps.
So more importantly, in terms of the voting, just so we're clear, the main thing with votes is specifically when we're talking about budget, as you can imagine,
Yeah.
those are the things that we really need, all of your votes for. So that's fine, the Jeeps, I'll note that down.
Right.
And I'm sorry, you had a question. I could,
Good,
Yeah, you-
why don't we go with the lure list aisle? so we
You were
get
gonna
to
say
it.
something about the decals.
Oh,
so I'll start with the email that I sent you, Bill, so we're all on the same page.
Go ahead.
So there are certain expenses that are pretty much required. It's not a matter of vote, just because they are necessary in order to have this event. As you guys can imagine, the barricades, we need to have them.
I wonder why we even would vote on this. This is stuff that.
No, but I'm just informing everyone, because I know you have new faces and I want them to be informed as to what the parade entails. So the barricades, the litter removal from all over the streets, portable accessible toilets. Janitorial for town hall because it's used for the luncheon, vehicle decals for elected officials. We do have to pull a permit. And then at the very base, we need to have DJ and sound over on Main Street and 67th Ave and over here outside of Town Hall.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Going back to the assigned vehicles to the elected or the elected officials. Last year, we had a little bit of a hassle there at the end because which councilman wants this vehicle or whatever. Is that going to be the same thing this year, a last minute scramble? Or are we going to predetermine where they're going?
So here's the thing, we've informed council of this issue before. Unfortunately, we can't control them. They come in and they decide that that's a Jeep. We can't do anything. If you guys want to talk to them in advance.
I don't
You
care
know,
what Jeep you
No, but I know what he's saying. He's saying it because then they pick a Jeep that's out of line and now you have to like scramble and move the entire line.
Mess.
So we explained that to them. I'm happy to send the message again in advance. We will try our best as staff to try to keep them to whatever the Jeeps are. I think the way to mitigate that is that you pull aside, let's say it's 6 council members are confirmed, we pull aside 6 Jeeps and they can pick from those 6,
Yes.
but they can't pick from all 25.
Okay, who's going to do that? We got to sign.
I will send the message to the town clerk's office,
Yeah.
since they're the ones that coordinate that, like in terms of elected officials.
Can I ask you a question? We're gonna have decals on the Jeeps. Can we just put decals on the Jeep that they're gonna be?
Yes, but I think it still goes back to what he's saying. They've grabbed it before and put it on another. So it's still the same idea. I mean, if you guys want to talk to them in advance as well, I don't think that's a bad idea. Again, we'll do our best to encourage them to stay to the 6. If they want to switch between the 6, it's fine. That doesn't affect us. The issue is if they start going to different groups, Jeeps, and then pulling them, then obviously that becomes a problem, and I'm sure police can
Yeah, let me
make
know.
sure to let them know that
That's a
as well.
good issue. So
Right,
maybe-
because then we have to be moving cars in the middle of kids and it is a mess. We'll try our best.
We have portable radios so we can communicate, because it's a big, huge group of people, and if you have an issue with a council member, I have no problem telling a council member what I think. And so, if you want to call me over so I can tell them why logistically they should be on the Jeep that were assigned.
Right, so we can tell them, I just want you guys to understand that we can't force them to, if they decide to, like, there's nothing we can do. It's all I want to.
That's fine. I'm not saying that you should force them. I'm saying that I will be the forcing action.
You work for them, we don't.
Yes.
So,
And a lot of them want to be reelected and they want to anger some veterans. So, trust me, we have a little sway.
okay,
And so, and I will convince them that logistically speaking, we should probably keep it in order so we don't have to move vehicles around. So, but my problem is I won't know what I need to do and where I need to be unless we have a comm plan, like those little battery powered, the little radios, the little things that we can, how do we
I don't
contact
think-
each other if we're having an issue?
I will look, I know we had radios, I think we still have them. I'll double check and I'll get back to you guys.
Yeah, make sure they're powered up and then.
Yeah, Charles needs a radio for when he's working. I mean, we had subcommittees last year. We went over all the stuff. So we had a plan when we got
Yeah.
there. Are we doing the same thing this year?
Yeah, we can call a subcommittee, after
I think
this.
it's necessary because
Sure.
you have to have things about gaps in the parade. You have things about the announcement, who's coming in. We need to talk about the placement where the bands are going to be so we can
Yeah.
spread them out.
Well, yeah, we definitely need to have a subcommittee for
We
life.
need a meeting.
Yeah.
And who's actually the two, I'm embarrassed, I can't think of the names, but the guys that are in
All right.
the past, that have done the setup.
Omar and
Omar,
Kelvin.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's what I recommend, since time is of the essence. We will have the subcommittee right after this meeting. So,
Well, no, there's a cultural.
And you can't call a meeting with less than 48 hours notice.
okay, so 48 hours now. Okay,
I will say, this is not something that we should lean on, but our last full committee meeting before the event is the 2nd of
yeah,
November.
we want to invite Omar and
But that
Cal.
should be like.
Well,
everything set
I
up
will-
by the-
I'm gonna check, because we had discussed this as staff, there in the past, at least in the last 2 years. We've done subcommittees very late, like a day before in terms of lineup, and that is just not good for organizing purposes, as you guys can imagine. That doesn't work. So
No.
we need to do it earlier. We've decided on a timeline of when we need to have that subcommittee of the lineup. And I will let you guys know after I take note of this right here, because I don't want to forget.
I wish we could do it on
Okay,
20.
last year, the group with the antique vehicles, they didn't get in because they didn't have, that was really messed up. The group of the antique vehicles, that's always been like the number one hit them in three.
And one
We
thing,
didn't have them last.
and I know you guys obviously have a lot of contacts and network of groups you invite, I'm sure that's one of them. I will ask you guys, for the sake of being organized, and I'm not saying this was the case with our group, I'm just saying generally, we have a lot of groups that like to come 20 minutes before the parade starts.
Yeah.
And we're back to the whole elected official, like taking cards, like, we cannot accept that. If a
We
group
always
comes in,
let it all in at the end.
if a group comes in late, it doesn't matter that they are on the list. If you are late, you are going to the back of the line, and that is for the sake of everybody not going mad that day. We need to follow it, and I think that that's what happens in registration. We start trying to scramble them, and it's like, no, we should not make any exceptions. If you are late, you are going to the back of the line.
That's, okay, no problem. Let's keep on going with your list, so that way we can get through all the important stuff, and then we can discuss any issues that we.
Okay. So I'll reach out to Omar and Kelvin and you guys about around what date we should have the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll be back the 24th, and
Okay.
who's ever here, I know Nickelback is here, Eds will be here, and maybe I'll get Gary and the others to do the subcommittee.
So, one of the things that we need to know, are you guys willing to pay for a national anthem singer? I know in the past, you guys have given dollars. I just need to know how you guys feel about that and what your decision is gonna be on that, because I reached out to one just to kind of have somebody, try to figure out if they can make it, and it was Florida Memorial University has a choir.
Choir.
A
Yeah.
great choir.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So I asked for, no, but I asked for one of them one of
Yeah,
them as
she
an
was
individual
good.
singer.
Can you get the whole choir?
Oh,
Well, I mean, I asked about an individual singer. I'm just letting you know that's how the contact came across. And she asked me if there was anything, and I want to just be, giving her the
Normally it's
correct
$50.
information.
That's what we pay. We paid the one, the Patriot Day,
Okay,
$50.
Inflation might have been.
and then,
For one song, it's $50. That's
Well,
not bad. It's a
not bad.
3-minute song, so if you do that to an hourly rate.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it that way.
You're not paying her
They're
transportation.
not a part of the union yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need a singer to do when we come back to the,
I might go for $50.
No shit, no kidding. No kidding.
so I'll just go through my list and you guys can talk about. this.
Hired, yeah.
You guys can talk about this after anyways, because it's just a matter of discussion, so we can't vote on things.
Yeah.
But we need to figure out who's gonna do invocation. You guys have previously invited somebody who will do pledge of allegiance.
I'll get the young Marines to do the Pledge of Allegiance. They're gonna be-
Do we want a videographer? That costs dollars. Do we want to buy waters to give out to the parade participants as we have in the past? I think I ordered Toyota. last year.
Toyota can't take for Toyota.
Right, so they donated last year. Do we invite CERT out? Because they're the ones that help us giving out the water pots.
Pardon me, who gave out the water? Sir.
CERT, there was two
Okay,
stations,
sir, yeah,
Yeah.
they had 2 water stations.
Yeah. but we gave them the water, which I
Right.
think was donated by.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't we invite them? Let's invite Sir.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's not part of the vote, because it's not.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and. Okay, so again, at the very basis, you guys have to have DJ and sound on both sides. I will remind you that we've done a little more than that in the last 2 years. We've had a stage, as you guys may recall, and that costs additional dollars. So something for you guys to think about. At the very least, again, we need to have DJ and sound, which can be probably like 600.
We have the funding, and we have the funding in our budget for the stage and all that stuff, but we have to move money around,
So that's what I need you guys to find out, as I was explaining to you.
Jonathan, do we have the money in our budget for everything, or do we have to move money around?
On the
We have to
basics, this
Sponsor.
This event does not exist under Veterans Committee in terms of funding. This event exists under the
That's the problem
communications
last year.
team.
The problem last year was, from a committee perspective, was that the town had already obligated all of the money that we had, okay, for the parade, and we hadn't gotten to anything that we thought we needed. Okay, so
Well, then how exactly do we vote on something that we have to line the budget?
Well, the Veterans Committee has always been a part of that planning process. So again, the reason that I sent you that list and the list I was just reading for you guys is because those are things that are non-negotiables in terms of putting on that type of town event. Like, we can't debate whether we need barricades or not.
Okay, so
And that
there's
brings-
gonna be a stage, there's gonna be a DJ, okay, fine.
That brings us close to $6,600, which is the estimate I gave you via email. That brings us to 66.
But we don't, it's not even in our budgets, this is just the town doing it on its own, it's off.
Well, no, that's why I'm asking you guys for a vote in terms of what you want to spend with the rest that is left. And now I'm happy to put it up to let you know what the amount is, but the Veterans Committee has always been a part of that process.
I'm trying to figure out, basic question is, how can we agree to pay anything that we don't have any appropriations for, or line number for? I mean.
So when you guys take the vote, it gives us the ability to go ahead and confirm those services. That's. pretty much
Okay,
it.
so that's all we're doing, we're not allocating funding, we're just. approving
No,
things.
you're not allocating.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to allocate additional dollars. That's a different
I
story.
don't think we can.
Okay, last year previously, culture affairs, basically, whatever funding was involved went through culture affairs.
No, that's incorrect.
Where did it go?
It's always come out of this line item that lives under the communication.
Yeah, yeah.
It's come out of ours. So
No, it's
No,
not
not
better,
at
it's
all.
not better communications, it's out of communication.
It's not under the.
It's not under, the line item, that funds this event is, it's not part of it.
Who paid for the coffee and donuts last year?
This line item, the one I'm referring to.
Okay, so, since we don't have quorum,
We can.
but I mean, it seems to me that this has to be budgeted and paid for anyway through the communication stuff.
Well. this-
Right, for the basic.
The bare minimum.
Everything else is really just elevating the event.
Okay,
So that's what I need you guys decision making in it as to what you,
all right, got it. Okay, so what do you need us to vote on that we don't have quorum for to vote on, right?
so, right, so. Just so we're clear, 6,600 is really what we're estimating in terms of those basics I mentioned. The budget for that event is at $9,000.
Okay,
It hasn't changed in the last 2 years and obviously expenses have gone up. So that's how we're nearing that number. I just want to let you guys know that I have worked on a couple of sponsorships. 2 are returning that always come in, which are Miami Lakes Automall and the Graham companies. They've already confirmed. But additionally, this year we brought in the Montez Family McDonald's and Solace Health Plan. So you guys are up a total of $5,000 that have been confirmed to the parade in addition.
Another
Okay.
question, do we have the list of who so far is going to be in the parade?
Yes, we do have a sign up. That sign up has also been promoted for,
Okay, where
Quite
do we,
some
where do we, how many do we have last year and how many do we have signed up this year?
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to give him a moment to pull it up.
So right now we have 17.
And last year we're just under, how many we have signed up last year? That actually came in, were organizations that were in the parade.
I wanna say it was 40 something, but I don't.
Yeah, that's about the number.
And we have 17 so far.
Right,
that's what we're about 50%.
so we reached out to last year, we reached out to a bunch of schools, a bunch of sports teams, college cheer teams or dance teams, prep teams, and we're sort of just pulling, you know.
I will remind you that the chunk of it, and it happens to be with a lot of events, a lot of people sign up last minute.
Yeah.
So you will see a chunk of them sign up in the last 2 months. That's just. how
Well, I
that
forwarded you
goes.
an email from the Marine Corps Inspector and.
I saw it
Selectman.
today, right? Yeah,
Yeah, but the first sergeant that asked for 2, well, we did a request a while back.
okay.
And so hopefully they'll have 2 tactical vehicles with their drivers for this parade and.
In the past, we've had the Army come out here and they gave us big, they've had a tractor trailer out here with just the different equipment on it. We've had the police department bring their helicopter in the parade. There's been a lot of things and I'm just curious to know, are all these things, people, are we reaching out to everybody who's doing it? Is there anything we can do to help? I mean,
Yeah,
what's going on?
honest, the more hands on deck for this, the better, right? Because everybody has different networks and connections. So all of us together really brings a good amount of people in.
There was an antique car group that it's always been, they didn't participate last year. They have all the antique military vehicles, the old,
Yeah, they have the old Chevy Jeeps.
and they are a hit, and everybody loves those. But for some reason last year, it seems that our legal department said that they had to have insurance as a group. Well, they're not a group, they're individuals.
They need
No,
to
no, it
agree
was-
to a
In
waiver.
the sign up, it's a waiver that has to be accepted. I understood Mr. Perkins in his position of, he cannot speak for every single member of the group.
Yeah, he
But-
can't sign for
but-
everybody, yeah.
Him and I, we spoke and, I think the mayor got involved. It's, this is the waiver as it is. Like,
Has he been invited and been given, have
How
you given him
did
a
I
copy?
participate in the past?
maybe somebody overlooked the
I don't
waiver,
think it is
doesn't
the
make it
first time.
right. In terms of
And,
us.
you know, I guess, hold on, I was the one.
Are
voting
all
against
those individuals in the parade signing waivers?
They're all-
Yeah, they were all-
The
The only reason it came up is I saw a single no in the, you know, the waiver and consent, do you agree to this? I saw a no. So of course, my due diligence, I had to say, okay, this wasn't accepted. Then it became, okay, trying to understand like how we can maybe better the waiver, the language, but at the end of the day, it wasn't accepted and he. You know, he said he understands and that was, you know, washing his hands with it, but. I don't know what it's, because the waiver is the same as it is. As all years, maybe it wasn't enforced in the past, I don't know, I can't
Well-
speak to that,
Okay,
um.
what I recommend is, this is Mr. Perkins guy, his organization. Send him a copy of the waivers, say his organization is invited, but anybody who wants to participate needs to sign this waiver. And that's it, all right?
In other words, an individual can also agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Anybody
we
wants to
already,
participate?
we reached out to everyone that signed up last year.
Yeah.
Okay,
With the
good.
same opportunity,
All right,
so.
so
Yeah,
then that's
everybody's been invited back.
But they didn't show last year. They weren't here.
Well, they were part of the list, as Jonathan mentioned, they had signed up like in the list and we pulled that list to send invitations.
Right, but the bottom line, they were not here last year. And is there
No,
a
they
way
were
we
not.
get them to come this year, because I think that's.
Well, I would ask you guys, it sounds like some of you have connections to it to reach out because we have sent emails to them.
I really don't know them.
Well, I don't know either.
Gary does.
We have sent out email communication again to
I
all
can
participants.
speak with the mayor, I know the mayor had spoken to. Mr.
Get with
Perkins
Gary
on
and
it
ask him to
first.
do it then.
Hmm?
Yeah. I'm just telling Larry, get with Gary. Ask him to do it. What else we got?
Okay, so, last year you guys decided to not go for bleachers. If you want bleachers, that's a cost. I just need to know your input there. As Jonathan mentioned,
I say we, for planning purposes. Unless we vote otherwise, but I don't think we will. Just let's not change anything from what we did last year. It seemed to be a.
right, but unfortunately, in terms of logistics, we need to move on certain things. So that's why the vote is important.
So can I have a point of clarification? You said that the budget was, what, $9,000? But that.
plus
That's
5,000
what I wanted to
sponsors, yeah.
clarify. So we have an additional 5,000.
So you're at 14,000 for this event.
Did we determine the route is going to be the same as last year, or is it going to be different? Because where it was last year, I mean, the attendance from the town was very low. In previous years, when you went down Miami Lakes Drive and Miami Lakeway, there were people all over the place, but last year, if I recall.
And
low attendance.
unfortunately, I think that seems to be the case with not all events, but we've seen it with maybe half of events where events that were usually very well attended and people loved coming out to are maybe just dropping in numbers. So that brings me to a point, the team and I, we thought about ideas of how to maybe like, make it a little more exciting, like who can we invite? We tried inviting out some local universities in the area to see if maybe we could get their bands, people that we haven't had out before. Because obviously that brings in crowds that maybe had not come before. Unfortunately, we were not able to get too many responses. However, we did get responses, for example, from the Miami Heat organization and the Panthers. They can come, they've confirmed that they're available. However, it does come at a cost. So I just wanted to get your input and your feeling about that.
I mean, what do you mean, like the cheerleaders or?
Yes,
So, yeah,
and I have the cost.
there are price
here.
breakdowns for, the mascot, the handler, two mascots, handlers,
What's the price?
cheerleaders and.
So for the Miami Heat dancers, you do the government event rate, so they can do $100 per dance per hour. They require a minimum of 1 hour bookings, a minimum of 2 dancers, so you're looking at a total of $200
Minimum.
per hour minimum. Then there's also the Miami Heat mascot, and that's $250 for 1 hour, $500 for 2 hours. So I just want you guys to have this information. And the Panthers have confirmed that they can do one mascot and one handler for $500. Or they could do both mascots, one handler, 2 dancers for $1,000. So again, things to think about. The Marlins are due to confirm to me if they're available or not for the parade. Personally, those were things that we thought of that maybe could add to the event atmosphere. I don't know how you guys feel about it. We have not confirmed them. We told them that we would be checking with you guys first.
I think that the main reason the attendance was low by the town, because we changed the route. And when we went back and we went down, when we went down 67th Avenue, there was a lot of people there.
I don't think we.
The route has not been changed though, so I'm not
didn't check
sure.
But when we made that turn, yes, we did. When we made that, we used to go down Miami Lakes Drive. We used to go down Miami Lake Way North and around that part of town. But we haven't gone there. And we've gone up this
So,
part of
yeah,
town.
historically, it did go up Lakeway North, to
Yeah,
Optimist.
yeah.
I don't know how long it's been.
Yeah, but
since
in the
that.
last 2 years, for sure, it's been the same route.
Right, well, the last 2 years, it's both been attendance below,
Oh, okay.
only on 67th Avenue. Once you make that turn, there's nobody there. It's hard, we're walking, there's no crowd, nobody's
A
watching
few
the
people on the
parade.
balconies and that's about it.
That's it, so why go there again? There's nobody there watching the parade.
So
What?
we've, the thing is that the barricades that have been long confirmed for now are, in terms of the MLT and all that, that's confirmed for that area. There is no changing the parade, right now, I mean, as of now, if it's something that we want to discuss for next year, we can, but at this point, it's too late to change the route for this year's parade. Because that's what's been confirmed with the barricades, and that's what's also been advertised.
Okay.
Was this brought up in like a postmortem last year? Cause I think it'd be better if a discussion, maybe had a January or February meeting. Way in
No,
advance.
I agree. I mean, it's something
Cause
that,
we, as recent as probably
Yeah.
August,
We had the
Maybe
same thought that
we
maybe
were
we should
thinking
shorten the
maybe-
route,
changing the route,
but
but
everything's been confirmed in
okay,
terms
so
of.
let's, we'll go with this plan that we have now, since we really can't change it. We're kind of committed to it, and, we'll address that.
well, yeah, those mascots were in general, those are ways that we've been trying to.
Yeah, those are just
And the
ideas.
mascot thing, we'll think about. I mean,
Feel free to
that's
think,
kind of
you can get
about
back to
mascots,
us.
but whatever. What
So
else we got?
other things, the VA, somebody from the VA reached out that they have a mobile vet center.
Oh, that'd be
And
nice.
they would like to bring it out. I can tell them that they can do it as part of the parade, and then we can also station them. They said that they can offer a lot of services. And they can even do, I guess, like mental health screening she mentioned,
Yeah.
and in total,
Basically
the
like a
private
big,
spaces,
nice
you know, within
RV.
their. So I just wanted to get your input there. I don't need a vote. I just need to know if you guys are
Sounds
is it
good.
something you, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured you guys say yes, but again, I mean, for you guys. I will let her. And then the Star Wars crew members that Gary,
Yes,
Have
they're
you
coming,
connected to it?
and we're still working on trying to find a
Okay.
place for them to change.
right, so the grants companies were nice enough to lend us a space last year and the year before as well, so I've already requested.
Yeah.
I just want to be very clear, they have not confirmed the space as of yet, so I don't want us telling the crew that yes, we're all set when we're not. Once I get that final confirmation, I will let you guys know,
Okay.
through Jonathan.
I should ask Andrea, I was thinking, right.
So I just wanted you to know the leasing space that was due last year is actually occupied this year. That's why she can't run this the same one.
Okay.
Is there a way that we can reach out through whatever means you, be it the newspaper, whatever, to disabled veterans? We have a float that's sponsored by, it's actually coming through the American Legion, but it's sponsored by a couple of big sponsors here in town, the Auto Mall. And the idea of the float primarily was that we could get disabled veterans, the ones that can't actually walk in the parade, so they could be in the parade. And we've had difficulty, in last year was our first year of the float, reaching out and identifying who they are. And we know there's a lot in the town, we just don't know how to get a hold of them.
Well, Larry, that float, because I was on it waving like, the king. That float was packed.
Yeah, but they weren't all disabled veterans. We had veterans there and their families. We had a lot of people there that really.
I mean, you're talking about people who can walk about,
We're
a
talking
mile,
about,
quarter,
we're
right?
talking about people that can't walk the parade to be on their veterans.
Well, there was several people there that were in their 70s,
Yeah,
80s,
that's what we want. That's what we
50s.
reach out.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of young folks on there. I didn't see any young folks in it. Everybody else was walking.
But your question is what, how,
When you reach out, let them know that we want them in the parade and we have transportation for them.
to reach out to who, I don't know.
I really think the American.
That's what he's
Legion-
saying. If
I
we
really
have
think
any
the American
any
Legion
network
has
that we
done
can
that.
tap into.
I really think so.
I would think any local veterans organizations that deals with disabled veterans, right, would probably be your best bet. I'm thinking, but I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
we got that. We
If
got,
they're
but I mean,
members- If they're members of the American Legion, they reach out to them, but if they're not a member, we have no way to get in touch with them.
well, I do.
I think it's,
I'll reach out to, I have contacts with the VFW, the PAB, and I'll reach out to them.
Yeah.
Let them know if they're going to be in the Miami Lakes Parade and you want to walk in it. Then we have.
we have a gentleman that comes from for the resource, the Veterans Resource Center upstairs on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Maybe I can reach out to him, I'm not sure.
Well, we also have an American Legion, we have a guy who actually works for the chief of staff of the VA. So, I mean, we have resources.
Okay.
So again, if you guys can help us with that part of it, that's a great
Yeah, we
help.
got-
In
we
terms
got
of
that.
general, like inviting people out to the parade, that's.
We got,
Okay.
we got that issue. We're already working.
This has nothing to do with the Veterans Committee, but there is a tree that's fallen right off of, like my house. I live on Miami Lakes Drive. Is
Like
there a
right now?
number? Like right now, the cars are not getting through.
Oh, maybe they try.
It's on Miami Lakes and the side road.
You
My
know,
wife sent me a picture.
yeah, thanks. Jerry.
It's on the corner of my, so the cars are having.
Say it again. Say the address again.
So it's Miami Lakes Drive and Palmetto. It's right. It's
Well, I mean,
happened.
that's, thank God it didn't hit any car.
No, because yeah,
Wow.
I thought that tree was dying, but now it's confirmed.
Thanks, right.
At Palmetto Palm Road, you know, yeah.
I live in,
Well,
I live on Willow.
It is
I
Palmetto.
go, always go Palmetto when
Yeah,
I get home.
so it's half
I'm gonna
sticking
get
out.
on the mahogany then.
Yeah, it was sticking out. They tried to move it at least to get out of the.
So yeah, we're messaging.
Okay.
Message it back. I'll let you know, I don't know.
All right,
We're
so
messaging.
I apologize for
Okay.
interrupting them.
Oh, no, I mean, that's.
So other things for you guys to think about,
Yes.
luncheons, last. Historically, I think for some few years, you guys have been doing, the Place and Daily Mission Barbecue, I believe it is.
Right.
Last year we did La Traila because they're a local restaurant that does barbecue as well. Just wanted to get your feelings about that, about how many lunches, a lot of lunches were actually left over last year. Because people left,
Yeah, the lunches were terrible last year. It wasn't a good.
well, I don't know, people left before they tried the food, so I'm not sure.
We were very disappointed in the food.
Okay, so that's fine, we don't have to go with
Mission
that.
Barbecue, we really appreciate it. They did a great job for us. They gave us a lot of extra food. The price was in line.
Right.
And we talked about it last year. We wanted to go back to Mission.
Is that
Barbecue.
budgeted in the?
It would hit that line item as well, yeah. So I just wanted to get your input there.
And we need to reach out to Mission
How
Barbecue.
many did we get last? How many meals did we order last?
I can check for you,
Yeah, probably,
but
we
again,
had,
I
how many do you
just,
say we had left over? So,
it was, it was a good amount. So I just want you guys to be mindful of that because other dollars we're spending that could maybe be used for something else in the event. And I understand Larry's point, but regardless of that opinion, I just want you guys to be clear that people left before we even gave up. So I don't know if that was completely the reason for that. So I just wanted to be mindful. How many people are we?
We had a rain last year, remember?
Yeah, we got rained out at the
But
end and we ended up indoors.
Yeah.
only so many people could fit in there. Where before, when we had like Mission Barbecue, had like a buffet kind of, it wasn't a buffet, what do you call it?
Yeah, they would serve
It
it.
was a
They would
spread.
serve it. They have servers.
They really did a great job. It was a great value. Everyone liked it.
Okay.
We talked about it last year. We wanted to go back to them. So.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think
let's.
we can
schedule
reach
that.
out and get a quote and then you guys approve it, yeah.
All right,
Reach out. For same amount of last year or less?
I don't know, let's go with the same amount, hope it's not rain.
You probably have about 20% increase because the cost of food went up. I would think they would probably charge a little more.
Well, let's go with the same price, so whatever that buys us.
The thing is that they
As
did
a
give us a discount I think, from La Traila. I don't know what, but I know Mission usually does too.
Yeah. We'll cap it at the price we used last year, because we all got capped at our current funding level, so.
So last
Although we
year
have
they did,
$5,000 extra.
so they did 100 pulled pork sandwiches that we paid for, and then he donated 50. He donated half.
All right, that works,
So
150.
150 then again?
yes.
If they donate, right?
Well, it'd be paying for.
Well, again, we're not going to the same vendor this time
Oh,
around,
sure.
so.
You're right.
Figure it out.
Whatever the numbers are.
And hopefully it doesn't rain at the end.
Mhm.
So what you guys are really looking at is to stay at the same price, is what it sounds like.
Well,
I
guess
understand.
think our
historically,
budget's
okay.
been, I mean, we do have $5,000 we can mess around with.
That is more dollars than last year, I will say. In terms of sponsored dollars that came in,
Accept more.
which,
You guys wanna reach out?
yeah, that's another point. If you guys have any, again, connections you want to tap into for sponsorships, please invite them.
Well, invite them to contact us.
I have a form and I'm happy to share it with you guys that they can get back to us with.
What else we got?
I need to know from the Star Wars crew members how many, because that's gonna help let's decide.
Yeah, that's
I think
very-
I got an answer from that. I wanna say.
I mean,
Gary told me-
Shirts, from a staff's perspective, those shirts have not been making sense the last 2 years. We tried selling them at a lower price, and the amount of shirts that have been sold have been very, very minimum. So it ends up being an expense. You guys don't gain anything from it. But again, that's a decision for you guys to make. So something to think about.
It would basically be biting the cost to have like a keepsake, but we
Yeah.
haven't seen it as.
How many shirts are we gonna make for the people that, the volunteers?
We don't have to make shirts.
Well, we did, in fact, our volunteers always had shirts.
Yeah, that's what where most of them end up. We
The
don't
one,
end up
yeah, the
selling.
ones that we sold that was like something on the side, but we always had shirts for the volunteers.
Do you guys want to continue with shirts for the
Of
volunteers?
course, tradition.
And for volunteers, do you mean the committee as well, or do you mean the volunteers of the, like the kids that come out? Or do you mean
I
both?
understand we're gonna have volunteers from Barbara Golden that are gonna be out here. And we like to identify the volunteers, who they are, and if there's.
Well, the volunteers, there's actually an official sign up link, and we already have it full.
How many
How many?
volunteers we have?
I believe it's about 10.
Well, let's go 10 t-shirts.
'Cause last year we had like 12. Well, that's for the kids that assisted with us, because I'm not counting you guys. I know some of you also help, on the ground day up. So I'm not counting you guys. That's what I want to know. Do you want me to count them plus you guys, or about how many are we looking?
Just the kids.
How many do we have last year?
12, because I confirmed them.
Total 12? How many?
In
shirts?
terms of the kids,
How many
Obviously,
shirts-
there were
how
more
many shirts last year?
oh, I can pull that. Yeah, it was a lot.
120 shirts.
Okay,
Yep.
that's a bad idea. Not 120 shirts.
30 people wore shirts. My wife was out, she was out when she wore a shirt. A lot of volunteers came out. they wore
Exactly,
shirts.
but I just want to be clear about that it ends up being a volunteer expense rather than, because last year you guys were under the impression that you were gonna sell amount of shirts and.
No, we weren't.
So-
We were against selling shirts last year.
No, you guys agreed on selling shirts.
How
at a
many,
lower
how many
cost.
cert people did we have?
We sold shirts last year.
Yes, you
I was
did.
not,
did
I was not present.
Yes, you did.
I was volunteer.
We wouldn't go against the price because you guys had a hard time years ago with the fact that we priced it at a certain amount, and then last year you guys insisted on bringing it down, so we did.
How many total volunteers
Okay,
do you estimate we have? Cert, everybody.
With the 10 students, about 10 of you guys, 20, 25, maybe 40, I'd say at max.
40?
Yeah, and I'd
So
say
if
that,
you want to be really careful, you do 50. Okay,
we had the people driving the Jeeps wearing
that's the
shirts.
thing, they gave to more, it wasn't just, I wanna be very clear, it wasn't just the volunteers, and you guys ended up giving shirts, and I'm just saying that blurs the lines, so then why is anybody paying if you're just handing them to
Right.
people that are ready?
The people that were driving the Jeeps were wearing the shirts. A lot of people that came out to help were wearing the shirts and it looked pretty good. And they look like they're part of the town. They already.
Do we even have a shirt design?
We
Yeah.
do,
Yeah, we do.
we do,
We do.
And what happened what's happened in the past
44th.
is as much as the parade is, as far as the celebration, the actual preparation of the parade, when we all got together, setting up everything up, the staging area, that's like part of the event.
Sure, of course.
You know, And the,
Absolutely.
how much do we have budgeted for the shirts?
budgeting, right now, nothing, I need you guys to let me know.
Okay. That's what my going.
Last year it was $1,300.
$1,300.
For,
Shout out for 120.
for 100 picture.
Look, folks, here's the reality. The town has capped their budget to last year. We did a full rollback on ad valorem taxes. Meaning that inflation and everything else that affected us in the real world, it's gonna eat it. So, this is not the time of milk and honey and honey's from heaven. All right, the town has tightened their belt, so unless it's a need as opposed to a want, let's make sure our needs are within reason and accepting that. So I just want to make sure that's clear.
That's where I think limiting the amount, like to 60.
Yeah, I agree. I think,
Fitting it.
reasonable 50, 120 is unreasonable. Everybody who shows up and does anything, gets a shirt, that's just unreasonable in this day and age. I mean, the town's trying to squander, look for money to pay overtime for police officers support. So, this is not the time to,
So I'll prepare, just so that next time we meet, I'll have a quote for the 60 shirts,
Okay,
or are we
thank you.
saying 50, I'm sorry.
50's good.
I'll have that, I'll have Mission Barbecue. And
We had coffee and donuts for all the volunteers. this
Right.
morning. You gonna do that?
I have a list of
That's a
things
need.
from last year.
Vicky Big.
I will say Vicky Bakery has
Wow.
donated in the past, yeah.
Awesome.
But that means we have to reach out and confirm that, and somebody has to go pick it up that morning.
Does anyone reach out to Vicky Bakery?
Not for this, no.
You will, Larry. Thank you.
I don't know anybody there, so I'm very much.
Her name is Amy. She's the one that always helps. us.
I think someone that knows her.
You're a police officer. You should know everybody who sells donuts.
I do, I do, and I think my own.
I have no problem picking them up. I'll pick them up. my
No,
fire
but look,
truck.
we're in
Okay,
South
we'll
Florida,
see
we
if
don't
we can
do
get,
donuts, we do pastelitos.
But they have those there.
They do, they do.
We literally have an expert.
Omar and Nancy from the public safety in the past have also done some things for you guys.
Yeah.
With the sign and I know that we have.
Well, we did-
Registration and all that.
Registration, I don't know, Nancy.
Yeah, I remember I saw Nancy and stuff helping with the desk
Yeah.
registration.
And
Yeah.
Omar does some things with the signs, he knows about.
they set up like the, because it's like 5 groups
The
and they end up like
locations, yeah.
separating it.
Right.
Last year, we got the Vicky Bakery donated the pastelitos and all that. And then the coffee we purchased from
Wonder if that was
Dunkin' Donuts.
paid.
Yeah, I remember.
Pedro
So,
got that.
I mean, if we want to do the same, I'll volunteer to pick stuff up. And I'll put the money out.
I don't think we had Vicky Bakery last year. I know we had them 2 years ago. I don't know about last year, but regardless, I'll ask her if she
Yeah,
can do
right.
pastelitos and coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll keep you guys updated on what time they want us to go pick it up.
Fantastic.
And then I think that's most of it in a nutshell. I do want to make you guys aware, we will be purchasing some signage for this, when we do the grand marshal ceremony. Part of our package this year, we were trying to elevate the package to see if we can pull some sponsors, and we wanted to give them some brand recognition, so just be aware that that's a cost, it's a minimal cost, but just so you know.
All right, so
The flag for the grand marshal, all that kind of stuff.
That's another thing. 2 years ago, we've traditionally done a flag folding ceremony with that the kids that,
Skip that.
right, last year you guys skipped it, so I need to, that isn't a dollar thing, but I still need a vote because that seems to be very important.
okay,
It was long and drawn out and it wasn't very professional. It was done by,
The 13 separate flags as the 13 separate folds.
Yeah, it was-
They just didn't do it right.
they just, you know,
I mean, I think it's a shadow, what we did with Bill was give him a shadow box with a voted flag already, and that was pretty nice.
Yeah, that was-
So, we could do that, we could do that with,
It's in my
yeah,
living room.
yeah, you know,
what about the placards?
And-
Here's anything you want?
like,
Some more information for you guys, again, I'm trying to give you as much information as possible, so the next time we meet, we just come to make decisions. Last year, 2022 parade, we ended up spending $12,525. The year before was $10,548, so you can see as the costs go up for the same.
and right
essentially the
now
same.
we have 14,000, so it seems like we need to, if we control our costs. So right now, what we're talking about for the vote is the cost for food, the shirts, the shallow box, what else? What other agenda items do we have to vote on for?
So we're gonna try to get water donated, it sounds like, we're gonna try to get the pastelitos and coffee donated.
Yeah.
Mission Barbecue,
All right,
it's gonna be a
Off,
cost.
right?
Yeah.
I don't think we have a coffee donor. We had one. in the past.
No, last year you guys paid for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was paid out of that.
I can
line.
reach out to you regarding water. As a side note.
so water donated, pastelitos
At
donated,
least we're gonna
so
try.
what we need to vote on is food, shirts, shadow box, what else?
Do you want the additional dancers,
The singer.
mascots? Very important, you guys have historically paid for a bus for certain kids for certain schools, I think.
Mhm.
I just need to know if you guys are gonna be doing that again this year or not, just so we can tell them.
How much
How much
would,
was that plus?
The thing is that the buses need to be going up in price as everything.
Yeah,
I
it was not cheap.
I think each bus was like $200, $300.
Yeah.
That was
many
last
buses
year.
did we
And
have?
And I think it was like 3 buses.
Which
So
school was your school?
we had Miami Jackson and that was $720.
Because I think they. bring
That's their
2 buses.
band, that brings their band.
Yeah, they're banned.
And American Senior High 360. So I think those.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to include that in our budget because their bands are really awesome. It was expensive, but it was.
Now, I will say,
American brings a band.
yeah.
Yeah, American High School, HML brought a band.
I will say that, I think. I'm not sure, but I think that historically, at least in the last 2 years, when we've reached out to intergovernmental Miami-Dade County Public Schools to reach out to the schools, we've done it with like maybe local schools, I'm not sure. This year, I made sure to send an invite, can you please send out to all like Miami-Dade County schools, so like whoever wants to come and participate, all types of bands, dancers from the public schools in Miami-Dade, I should say. They've been invited out.
May I ask a question on that? Who actually does it? Who does the liaison? Who communicates? You do? And,
They have a liaison too, so I'm communicating with their.
You're gonna,
liaison.
yeah.
okay, I was just curious, who does.
Yeah,
What, and how a phone call, you send them a letter, or how do you do that?
it's an email, it's an email, I can follow up, they're usually pretty good about it, but
I know, there's a lot of times it
So-
falls on deaf ear, they don't see.
it's that unfortunately, because we are. Town of Miami Lakes, we have to go through their intergovernmental process, like we can't bypass that as staff.
Okay.
If you guys have any contact with the schools, please let them know.
So you sent out invitations to all the public schools?
I asked the liaison to do it to all the publics.
Okay, but we're not offering to buy buses. for all the
No.
Nah, just a couple.
No, just those 3 is what you have historically offered, and those 3, and I just wanted to know if you were gonna continue that for those 3.
Yes, I don't see why not. I think it's good. But we'll vote on that.
Well, I mean, those are the 3 local high schools.
Yes.
And
Well, it's not
What?
local, because it's Miami Jackson, but they've just
Jackson.
historically done it, like all these years.
And they
They've
bring
always
their
been.
Reds and their cheerleaders, and I mean, it's awesome. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
we don't have to give them shirts.
What's the cutoff? What's the cutoff for these organizations to raise their hand and saying they want to be in a parade? What's the date?
So they can honestly come day of if they haven't signed up. What I want to be very clear about is if they did not sign up within the said
We gotta
deadline,
go to the back.
they're one of the back.
Yeah, I hear you, but what, I'm trying to figure out doing reverse planning, what's the cutoff for them to, finally say, hey, where we start.
I'm gonna
making
tell
a
you what
list?
we've been.
What is the date that you want to do the lineup, basically?
I need to look for this for you.
well, ideally, you're gonna have the lineup before the 2nd, because we're gonna meet then.
Yeah, and I don't want to be a thing like last year where on the Saturday. we
Yeah,
have to come
that's not.
in.
Are you gonna have the bleachers? In the past, at the meetings, you pass out a map, you show us where the bleachers were.
Yeah.
all that,
We'll
and where the
have that.
staging area is.
Yeah, we can have that.
By the second.
Yeah, or by the subcommittee or the special call.
Is the staging area, is everything the same as it was last year? Change anything?
Yeah, for the most part, everything is,
Are we allowed to use the bank off in the past? Nancy was out there from, taking doing the registrations. Or the people chosen.
over there by the,
Yeah.
the old.
Now,
chase, right?
last year, that building changed hands. We could never figure out
Yeah, I remember.
and get in contact with whoever really owned the building.
No, we
Huh?
I remember that.
No, I remember.
I had a heck, I mean, I went and I called,
Yeah,
I called the name on the door, oh, we don't have that building anymore. And I could not
I
find
remember.
someone to give us permission to use that facility.
You're talking about the old Chase building, right?
Yeah, and so we just used it and nobody said anything.
Well, I cannot encourage you guys to use it, because what I don't want is last minute you guys being kicked out, just because you're expecting not to be kicked out, and then it's, I don't wanna deal with
Now, if they
that.
call the
is all I'm
cops on
saying.
us, I'm running.
Yeah.
I live right here.
I'm not gonna, we're not gonna put that
Not
on,
gonna get.
because we need their permission to.
I'll throw a pasta.
Yeah, well, last year, we didn't have anybody's permission because we couldn't figure out who it
That's all
was.
I'm saying, we're not gonna put them on our map of our location.
I'll have a box of pastelitos and throw it in the air, it stops all the cops. Stop being too crazy, man.
We are actually doing, registrations are due by October 30th for being a part of the parade.
Okay.
October 30th,
30th is the deadline we published.
so I guess November 2nd, we're gonna be doing the lineup, right?
Yeah, that's our last.
And or is that too late?
I mean, we did it the day before. last
Oh,
year.
this is a little.
Which
bit
I'm
better
not
than
saying
that.
is
This is-
good.
Pretty close to the day before. I mean, 'cause the
And
thing
I'm
is.
sorry, why are you guys, oh, you guys are saying the second. because
It is amazing how this parade
All right.
comes together. It's so good.
Boys together nicely. What about
Regular
the
meeting.
flags?
Let's get some dates down, Larry.
What?
Let's get focused and get the dates down. And then we can talk about little flags. Okay, so we got a meeting going on, we got a meeting going on the 25th. October 25th, correct?
Yes,
October 25th.
And so we need to have,
17 to
but can we, and I'm
we need
sorry,
to have a meeting
1800
for the, what's the date cutoff for the Grand Marshal?
Monday.
That's Monday.
there's no way that you guys can meet before that. I know that some of you are gonna be out, but there's no way you guys can meet forum before that. I'm only.
I
asking
can meet
because-
Monday.
I could be on Monday.
I can't.
I could be here Monday.
Monday,
But you have other members that are missing, right?
that could be here.
I'm just saying it shouldn't fall on the ones that are here to,
Do we need full, I mean, we need a full committee to
you
vote.
need quorum, not full committee.
Okay,
60.
So if we have a subcommittee
No,
for that,
no,
Not good.
so wait, Larry,
the subcommittee only has 4 people, while then 2 people could.
well, the idea of the subcommittee is to hash out the details so that you come prepared to the thing and you're just voting fast.
Like,
Like, it's a
you
vote.
can be here Monday, you can be here Monday, you can be here Monday, I can be here
Because we
Monday.
don't have quorum.
And it wasn't posted. as-
And let me get Gary and
But hold on, we're saying Monday, but hold on. Yeah, there is a meet, unless you guys wanna meet at 8:30, I'm not gonna, because there is,
It's gonna be a short meeting.
it'll be very short.
It's gonna be a short meeting.
8:30 on what?
And if you get the redacted nominees
Yeah, if you
out,
send us the redacted nominee things, we'll do like a straw poll, whoever wins the first wins it.
we're gonna have to get back to you guys with availability. So you tell us and we'll tell you, Bill.
Can you?
16th, Monday.
We just need one.
You
more.
tell us and we'll tell you, because I don't know right now that we're gonna be able to make that.
So what do you want me to tell you?
Because you're saying you don't know yet if you have enough for quorum, right?
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying, so
I'll find
we'll
out.
be in touch.
If we have.
I think we can do it. It's only gonna be 15
Well, it's not
minutes.
about that, you have to have staff availability, and I
Right,
don't know.
but
if
if you have
you-
15 minutes to squeeze it in somewhere,
Right, but you need to have staff availability for the meeting, and I don't know if you will that day at that time.
one of you guys can't make it.
Well, I'm gonna be off. So no, I can't. make
Where
it.
do you live? We'll come to your house.
No.
that was a quick no. I would have said no too.
Quick and decisive.
Okay, so, all right, so how about the 26th? The Thursday of October. That's the day after we have the 25th meeting, so we're gonna be here twice in a row.
Why can't we just do the win thing?
I know, I want to. Who's gonna have the meeting, this room right after us?
Yeah,
Who's good? Who?
yeah, it's gonna be the sheriff's ad hoc.
Right now?
Oh, today, right now?
No, on the 25th.
Well,
The sheriff's ad hoc, Gabby Escobar.
Sheriff's ad hoc, what's that?
I don't know. To be honest.
It's a committee, to talk about the sheriff.
Another committee. There's another committee.
That's coming.
It's
Yeah,
just-
that's gonna- it's gonna affect the town.
Oh, whether or not we're gonna have our own independent police department?
Yeah.
That's right.
Something like that.
That's kind of important.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's important.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Why? You wanna talk to, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna be doing, especially with the police study and the sheriff.
Well, we're meeting the 25th, we're meeting the 25th in order to vote on this stuff. Correct?
Yeah.
The budgeting,
That's very.
We can do the grand marshal at the same time.
I think we can.
Do you want me to talk to Gabby? Because again, with what the council decided with the police study and the sheriff's let know if they're meeting.
Well, I think actually we have the time to, we could probably go through it pretty darn quick.
I do too.
We can do the budgeting real fast and then we can do the other thing.
Just
That's my.
for the sake of time in mind, because we have another committee meeting at 7, I think Jonathan and I will just be in contact with you as the chair tomorrow to see if, and you know, we're more than happy to help to call up members and see if they're available for said date, and whenever we meet quorum the earliest, I guess that's.
Yeah, I think the 25th will be this thing we can shoot for, because we already got the meeting scheduled for that, and we will have I get Gary there and Pedro.
but you're going based off the 25th. I'm saying that Don and I are gonna try to push for as early as possible for whenever we can find, if it's okay with you guys, obviously trying to see how many, we'll call up the members that are not here and see when we can get them here the earliest for quorum. Based on availability and based on their availability. We're, happy to help with that.
Okay. I mean, I can't really answer that. Be gone till the 24th, they'll be gone, so.
But you have other I don't know, I'm not stuck on you three, we'll miss you, but I wanna make sure. No, I'm just saying, you have other committee members, it shouldn't fall the responsibility that because Bill's gone, we can't do anything, like, that's not fair to you or them.
No, that's great. All right.
So I like to believe that you have other committee members,
You know, let me know how that works out for you.
I'll let you know.
I-
Maybe I don't know any better, because I don't normally deal with you guys, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be, the secretary will be in charge.
Pick
Oh,
1%.
that's dangerous.
That's it. Bill Knickerbocker, you're the man.
Very quickly, if I may, not priority, but I wanna start thinking ahead of time. I wanna look at redesigning the banners, the military banners.
All right.
I have to explore whether or not we can pull the files and the photos directly from the manufacturer that we have.
You know, the
already.
website's down too, right?
Well,
When you go to like. Apply, it.
yeah, because I believe we're close.
Okay,
Yeah. Then we have another website issue, but, yeah, this is something to think
You showing
about.
us a sample?
I've talked to Fred already, he's still on board. It's not much different, but again, this is all like up in the air. How can I make
That's
this
nice. Like that so
Well,
far.
you can't see it. It's a lot, there's a lot of similarities, as you can tell. I don't know that I can zoom out much more.
Who's that?
It's
John Doe.
As you can see. Again, not much, but, it's.
I like it.
that's pretty cool.
I like
the
that.
colors, yeah.
I do like the color.
these.
Mhm.
Good attention,
I like it.
get your attention.
This is how you can see it all at once. It's just something to think about. Again, I have Fred on board. We don't open up until April.
Yeah, that red is cool.
Yeah.
That is nice.
So you see there's a lot.
Yeah, I like the coloring
There's a lot
bill.
carried over. I don't know if this would have to be, if we can't pull all the information for the 110. If it's with the new rules and the new requirements, just restarting, that would be a lot of pain trying to see. Going back because people have passed and tracking them.
Yeah.
Just something that.
Or moved away.
Or moved away, so maybe they don't even need one, I don't know, this is just something to think about, because again, they open up in April. But that's what I'm surprised.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay,
Yeah, we can vote on it and on it, because we do need to replace 110 of them. We'll probably have to replace all.
right, that's another thing, because a lot of them are. really
They're unserviceable. Yeah, they're coming to their age. Yeah.
And some of them have 5 service branches, some of them, the state board's added, the new ones, of course, but. Does anyone want to call? Jordan?
What?
Jordan, what?
I mean, we still call the meeting.
Okay, you wanna make a motion? to
How are we gonna
adjourn?
vote?
Motion to
I
adjourn.
got one question before. I
Okay.
adjourn. The flag, little flags, every year we give out little flags, that was never mentioned.
That's what we got the budget for and we approve.
It's just the one from 9/11.
Honestly, I'm gonna go back and double check, but yes, that's on my list
The
of.
little budding flag.
Two birds with one stone.
But if anything, just come prepared to talk about it.
I mean, it's a major, I mean, all little kids are out there getting a fly every year, I mean, it's something that wasn't mentioned.
I don't think that it's one of like the necessary, like, we have to make sure in terms of like the crowd and everything, but I don't.
You know, what
I understand
I
that it's a
think what
big
would
part
be
of the
nice
parade.
is when we bring everybody inside or whenever we do the
Ceremony.
speech and the ceremony. Is just pass out some flags.
The
to
one here at the
kids.
end?
Yeah,
The
some
Grand
flags-
Marshal?
pass out flags to the kids, and that's usually not too many flags.
And I
A lot of
think you guys
people
do it
take
as-
off and never come back to the ceremony part. So maybe I'll be able to get a donation for that.
Yeah, a lot of people make the turn and disappear.
Yeah, so you know what? I'll take care of the flag stuff. I'll have my charity.
Of the
pay for
mini
flags. That little flag,
So you're gonna try to get them donated.
yes,
I think we may have some left over, so I'll pull those as well.
yeah, so see if we can pull together.
Yeah, the American Legion
Cause
donated.
I figure, about 200 flags be enough, cause we only give it to the little kids and, the adults would be like, can I have one? No,
What are your costs?
not very
Okay.
expensive.
So.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're adjourned, 'cause we have to